Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to this week's show. We are up at Lake of the Woods, one of my favorite places to go, with our good friend Joel Henry. Hey, I'll tell you, Joel, when I look at the river now, what a big difference from last year. Holy cats, from a flood to looks like the river's basically down maybe just a little bit or at normal stage on.
Well, I'll tell you what, last year we had record-breaking flooding on this system. And I'll tell you, some of these docks were underwater. I mean, it was a whole different story.
People ask us all the time, what resort is a good resort? I don't know of any bad resorts up at Lake of the Woods. Hey, Joel, this morning, the Warrior V208 is on the trailer, and we're going to leave it there today, and we're actually going to be going out on a charter boat, and that is another great option when you think about either you don't have a boat or you don't want to come up and bring your boat, is to come out on the charter boats and to utilize the service of where you're staying.
They're going to put you on fish. You're going to have a great day of fishing. They bring you back in at about 5 o'clock, and Larry, they even clean the fish for you. I think the other thing is, if you're not a real hardcore angler, you can come to Lake of the Woods, step on a charter boat. Everything's included. You really don't have to know much about fishing to have a safe, enjoyable time. Boy, it gets families into it. It gets older folks into it. I mean, it's just nice.
That's awesome. Hey, Joel. Always a pleasure. Let's go catch some fish. See you guys. I'm going fishing. I'm going fishing. Joel, Captain Mike did a pretty good job of going through some of them areas. I mean, it was a little bumpy there for a little bit, but boy, in these charter boats, it's a pretty smooth ride.
Well, and there again, you know what? We made a really long run. The average person coming to Lake of the Woods wouldn't be dialed in on what the fish are doing right now necessarily. It'd take them a while to figure it out.
Yeah.
And like we talked about, Larry, even for us that know how to fish quite well, and we have the boats and the equipment, isn't it nice sometimes just to sit back, not have to worry about the weather, navigation, where the fish are. All we got to do is go fishing.
I love it. Hey, so yeah, a little bigger. You're working your way up, Joel.
Yep,
you're getting there.
This is a walleye.
Yep. What I want to know. Now we're getting there. Yeah. Now that's 13 or bigger. That's 12 and a quarter. No, that's a good fish right there. Nice job, Mike.
That's a good eater.
That's a real good eater. Take that one all day long. Nice. Yeah, little guys. Yeah, little guys. I don't mind, as long as something's pulling on the end.
We're using a crawler harness today, and it's a 2-hook harness with a crawler on it. And that spinner spins on there. Not only does that attract, that spinner shoots out vibration. That walleye has that lateral line, really attracts them. When you get this thing moving across that bottom, and you get that spinner going, that's when those fish turn on.
Joel.
There we go.
A little bonus fish.
Well, I tell you, those jumbo perch, Larry, and it's not like we necessarily go out perch fishing on Lake of the Woods, but I'll tell you, when you're walleye fishing, I'll tell you, very, very common to catch a few jumbo perch. I'll tell you.
What I have to say, you're asking me if I have anything to say. I always have something to say, is that you can always tell a good charter boat captain or a good guide when things slow down. You know what you do? You move. All right, Captain Mike. There we go. We'll take them like that all day long. Are you doing anything different? I noticed that Mike's just got his rod in the rod holder, and a lot of times that's key is not moving that rod. So here, are you moving the rod?
You know what? I am kind of pulling it forward just a little bit.
Okay.
Pulling it forward, dropping it back, and I'll tell you one little thing, Larry. Whenever I get a bite, I like dropping it back to them. It seems like when I get a tap, if I drop it back, it seems like they hit it. That's a nice eater walleye right there.
That's
we keep that one all day
right
long.
There.
When I hook up a crawler, what I want to do is I want to take the head of the crawler, or that dark part, and I'm going to take that to tough piece, and I want to hook that right in the very front. I don't want it to spin. I hook it right in the front. And then what I want that crawler to go straight. I prefer not a loop. So I'm going to stretch that out and hook it right kind of by that band. And then instead of having all that crawler hanging off, the walleyes will hit it, but you'll miss them. They won't get the hook. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pinch it off just a little bit behind that hook. Now all of a sudden, we got something that walleye, when they hit it, they're actually going to get that hook in their mouth.
Hey Joe, so you are jigging yours a little bit, and I noticed that Mike's is leaving his in the rod holder right there, and there is days where not moving that rod at all is key with that spinner, but other times putting a little bit of movement into it helps out. But when you get bit, let's tell everybody what you're doing actually when that fish hits that bait.
Well, I tell you, and Larry, I learned this from tournament fishing. When we'd be pulling spinners, if you'd get that walleye hanging on there and just let him go right away, you know that walleye is there. So what we learned is that you drop your rod straight back, and I'll tell you, it's amazing when I do that, when I pull that forward, how many fish are hanging on it.
Hanging right on there.
So, given that little bit of action where you just drop it back, and I don't know if they're hitting on the fall, I don't know if they're watching it, and then it takes off kind of quick, but something triggers that bite and you catch more walleyes.
I switched to a minnow. Ooh, a nice perch. There's a good perch. Lake of the Woods is probably one of the most consistent bodies of water when it comes to the walleye populations. And again, having a great slot is really what it's all about. There we go. Ooh, a nice sauger. I'll take that one any day of the week. Now I tried something a little bit different. I'm using a minnow now, and I was just hooking it through the lips there. So what I did is I'm only using a single hook harness. What I'm doing is trying to get that hook placement back as far as I can, so I'm opening the mouth up and I'm getting that hook as far back into the head as I can and coming straight off like that. Let's see if it works again. That's a good one. Nice little pop there. Definitely have gotten, the fish have gotten a lot nicer size than the last spot we were at.
Yeah, and that's a perfect eater. I'll tell you what, you guys, when you talk about what you can keep on Lake of the Woods, our limit on Lake of the Woods is a combined limit of 6 fish. Up to 4 of the 6 can be walleyes, of course the rest saugers, and there's a slot limit, 19.5 to 28 inches. You gotta release them. That sustains the future fishery. And of course, if you want to keep a trophy over 28 inches, you can do that. This one's just a perfect keeper.
There you go. That's one of the nicer ones.
Nice fish.
No, I'm not much of a nut kind of guy. I figure we're catching them so good and so fast, if they fall off, they fall off. That's kind of nice to have that option like that. There we go. And that's on a single hook harness because he won't give me, I broke the harness off an hour ago and he won't give me another one. Right? Isn't that something?
You don't need it.
Oh, I need it, believe me. Joe Henry.
Not a biggie.
No, okay. Perch? Let it be a perch. No.
Walleye. Tell you what, we'll take that. That's a future baby. We got a lot of these in the system, and I'll tell you, I never mind catching these because all that does is sets us up for the future. Nice fish.
Ooh, a nice sauger, real nice sauger. Take that any day of the week.
Folks, when we talk about the difference between a walleye and a sauger, there are some definite differences. You can kind of tell when you look at them. Look at the coloration. Walleye is more golden, a sauger is more brown in color. So walleye's got that white tip on the tail, whereas a sauger does not. And the other thing a walleye has is when you pull up this dorsal fin, they got that black tip at the base of the dorsal right there. Whereas when you look at a sauger, it doesn't have that black tip at all. It's got spots, in fact. I'll tell you, these saugers, they're a cousin of a walleye. They eat absolutely awesome. You catch a ton of them. You also catch a ton of them when you're ice fishing out here. They're a blast.
There we go. When all else fails, shiver minnow, baby. The gold hammered shiver minnow, my favorite bait. Take that all day long. Hey, I'll tell you what. I had 3 hits on the way in on that time. That's a nice fish. Nice job, Mike. That's a shiver minnow, not a jigging wrap. You can have them jigging wraps. I'll take a shiver minnow any day of the week. Yeah, it's a gold hammered shiver minnow. Hey everybody, this week's tip of the week brought to you by our good friends up at Mike's Country Meats, the finest jerky on the planet. Hey, anytime we're up at Lake of the Woods and we're fishing with Joe Henry, you know what? we always let him do the tip of the week because he's always got something good to tell you guys.
I appreciate it, Larry. You know what? I'll tell you what. When you're pulling bouncers, you guys, when you're pulling spinners, I like using a bottom bouncer. You can use different kind of weights, but I'll tell you, I love a bottom bouncer, and I'll tell you, I love a little heavier bouncer. This is about a 2 ounce, sometimes even a 3 ounce weight. But I'll tell you, a 2 ounce weight, I can use that 2 ounce weight in 5 feet of water, all the way down to 30 feet of water. So versatile. If I know I'm going to be fishing over 30 feet of water, I'll put a 3 ouncer on. Real important, I want to maintain a 45-degree angle. If my setup gets too far behind the boat, I'll reel in and reset. 45-degree angle and touching bottom, just keeping it off that bottom when you're drifting or trolling at about 1.25 miles per hour. Until you do that, you're going to pull a lot more walleyes in the boat.
Another great tip, I'll tell you again, this week's tip of the week brought to you by our good friends up at Mike's Country Meats, the finest jerky on the planet. Oh, there you go. Nice
Go a
job.
little quicker.
Hey, next time, why don't you wait till the boat stopped and then put your
I
line
need
in?
all the benefits I can get here.
Right.
Look at that. This one's been on at rocks.
Looks like another good one.
Let's see.
Decent fish.
Decent fish. Look at that. Nice walleye.
Bingo. Hey, Joe, what do you think we asked Mike if we could go out and try to hunt down a couple of big fish now?
Tell you what, we got all the fish we can eat. We got limits.
Right.
Should we go for a big one?
Let's go for a big one.
Let's do it.
Sounds good. Joe, what do you got going on there?
Got a good one, Larry.
We haven't even been here 5 minutes.
Nope. That walleye, huh?
That's a nice walleye.
Take that one.
Woo!
Yeah, baby.
Nice job, Joe.
Lake of the Woods, man.
You know, it's kind of interesting how you have your spots where you go and catch your eaters. Then you have spots where you can go and catch big fish.
Well, you know, Mike brought us out to a rock pile, and of course we're on the rocks right on the edge of that deep mud, and you know what that does.
Big fish territory. You ask for big fish, Mike brings you the big fish.
Shotgun in the kitchen, Leroy lunchtime. Well, this could be anytime. These skewers are black pepper skewers. They're brand new and they're going like hotcakes off the store in the store there. I asked him this morning when I got them. He said, I can't make them fast enough. People are making them for lunch, dinner. We're gonna throw them on the grill. Looks like nice chunks of beef in there. It's all marinated. You can see all the seasoning in there. Let's go throw them on the grill. Shouldn't take that long to make this one up. Hey, Shotgun back in the kitchen being outside. Man, these things smell awesome. The black pepper skewers they sell in the deli section where the meats are. I don't know, I've got probably 10, 12 minutes stuck in there, but look at how nice and pink it is inside. This, if I wish you guys could smell this, and I'll taste it in a second. That barbecue marinated sauce with the peppers and stuff on it, this is awesome. Gotta try them, guys. They're black pepper skewers in the deli section of Leroy Meats, Horicon and Fox Lake.
Good job, Joe. Joe, you are a big fish wizard. Big fish wizard. Every time, Joe, we fish with you, you catch something big.
Well, we're on Lake of the Woods, that helps.
If it's not a big pike, it's a big walleye. That fish has definitely got some substance to it.
Big fish here. Probably.
Ooh, that's got some serious weight to it.
Fish. Ready?
There it is. Oh, tank. Woo!
Oh,
nice fish. Woo-hoo-hoo. That is Lake of the Woods giant there.
What'd it say,
buddy.
baby?
Every time we fish it, you get that one of them big cows.
I'll tell you that, you know, and I'll tell you that is a fish of a lifetime. Look at the size of that head.
I mean, just monster head. You think about how old that fish is, too, you know?
Dude, that is a big fish.
That is a big fish, Joel. You know, again, just kind of pulling along slow. Hey, I'm gonna go, I finally lost my single hook harness, so I'm gonna go, if we get time to get one more pass in, I'm gonna definitely go with a 2-hook harness. Hey, Joe.
Look at that, baby.
You know, it's not a 28-incher like the one that you just caught, I'll tell you, but still a nice fish. It is.
Nice chunky fish, isn't it?
Yeah, it's interesting to see how healthy these fish are, but the other cool part is that it is very cool to have areas where you can go and catch your eaters and then come out here and try to get that trophy fish. Big Fish Joe, we're gonna start calling you. Now you guys are complaining about 26 inchers? Oh, it's 23, 22, 21.
I'd say 20.
Good fish, 21, 22.
20.
Nice job, Joel.
Thanks. Larry called it 21 and a half. Almost 22.
21? 22?
21 and a half, yeah.
Nice fish.
But nice fish.
Mike promised me, because Joel was pounding on the big fish, that he put me on a big fish. That's a great charter captain right there, I'll tell you that. He said, hey, watch your rod, because it's definitely going to be a good fish. And there it is. Nice. Yoo-hoo! Nice fish. Finally, I got him. You know, again, that's the cool part about, like, you know, a guy that guides all the time, you think that going out on a charter boat would not be a big deal, but it really is, because, you know, you're always learning from other people. And I tell you guys and gals this all the time, you know, we're lucky enough, we travel around the whole country and fish so many different places and hunt to so many different areas. Meeting the people we meet is always the best part about the job, but really just the experience is alone. And again, if you're looking for an awesome place to bring your family, bring your friends, bring your girlfriend, bring your wife, bring whoever you enjoy spending time with, I'm telling you, you come to Lake of the Woods and you do it once, I will almost guarantee you, you will do it again and again. That rod bouncing.
Look at that, baby. Lake of the Woods,
Lake
baby.
of the Woods is right.
We'll take that one,
You know, here's a situation. We were just cleaning up from the last fish that we caught, you know, and you just grabbed your rod out of the rod holder, went to, because we're going to move a little bit here, and all of a sudden that fish was just sitting on it. No, and look at the build on these fish. You know, a lot of times you see these fisheries, when you have this many fish in there, Joel, a lot of times you see these fish get skinny because there's not enough food. It doesn't seem to be the problem here since we've been fishing here.
I'll tell you what, Lake of the Woods has so much forage. Bloodworms, hatches coming out of the mud, emerald shiners, tullabies, crayfish. There's so much food in here, and if one's not here, the other one is.
I get snagged, you get the fish.
Larry, I don't know, man. It seems like a good one too. You know, when you got a big fish on you guys, you'd rather have your drag loose rather than tight, and don't be afraid to put your rod right in the water with them. Don't horse them, just let them go. Keep that rod a little bit bent. You want to keep that rod bent so you keep that hook buttoned up in them. Take your time on it. Nice tight line. You don't have to pump them, just steady reel.
Yeah, it looks good. This is something. Holy man, there he is. Ho, 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 ho. Woo!
There we go, baby.
Another giant Lake of the Woods walleye.
Look at that, baby. Larry, what do you got that one?
Well, I'll tell you, Joe, it has been a big fish the last 45 minutes. You know, what is another thing you want to talk about that's really cool about the guys in the charter boats is how they can do the boat control. You know, we had some good wind to start off with, and the wind kind of died down here, and we're basically taking a 28-foot boat and going around these little humps like this in perfect speed all the time. Our speed's not fluctuating from, you know, 1.2 to 3 miles an hour. We're staying right in there all the time. That's a pretty interesting situation.
Well, and I tell you, I think what that's a testament to our charter captains up at Lake of the Woods. When you fish on Lake of the Woods on a charter boat, or if you get a guide at all, they have to be a licensed U.S. Coast Guard charter captain. To go through the perils and the testing and everything else to do that, you got to be pretty serious. And our captains across the board are top notch up at Lake of the Woods. Of course, different personalities, a lot of characters, which is fun, you know, but they are good anglers. And, you know, I would highly recommend getting on a charter boat, coming up to Lake of the Woods and catching a giant. You want to catch big fish? We also got a cooler full of eaters. You want to catch a big fish? You come up to big fish country, man. That's Lake of the Woods. Look at that.
You ain't kidding. Us Larry's got to stick together. This is a big one.
I tell you what.
There ain't nothing professional.
Larry's hooked up, baby. Come on, Larry, get him in.
Whoa. There she is. It's a good one. Yeah.
Boy, Larry. Nice. Nice, baby. Look at the size of that head of that thing, Larry.
Thanks, Mike.
Oh,
I love it.
look at that.
Big fish.
Nice. All right, Larry, what do you have to say about this?
Oh, I don't.
No, you're in the game, baby.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say, Joe. You know, again, it's just every time we come to Lake of the Woods, it's always a different experience, but it's always a great experience. Joe, what a way to end the day. You know what? Going after and catching our fish to keep and eat was something. In Fast and Furious, which is typical Lake of the Woods, but then having the opportunity to go out and hunt big fish, you again, had the hot hand, a lot of big fish. I mean, it is amazing when you have the opportunity to go out there in these remote areas where there's only 1 or 2 other boats around us and literally work these fish and just spin and spin with that big charter boat on them fish was amazing, the boat control. Hey Joe, let's tell everybody, when people want to learn more about, I mean, there's just so much here. I mean, there's so many resorts, there's so many restaurants, this is such a vast, massive body of water. Do you want to go to the northwest angle? Do you want to fish the south end? There's so much here. How do you learn more about what's going on at Lake of the Woods?
Well, one way is to watch Larry Smith Outdoors.
Appreciate that.
But another way is checking out our website. And we have a very robust website. It talks about our different areas. It has videos. It has, what kind of fish are biting when. All of our resorts are listed. Charter boats, fish houses, I mean, the whole ball of wax. And that website is lakeofthewoodsmn.com.
Hey everybody, like we do each and every week, we always want to thank all of our military men and women for the great service that they have given this country and continue to give this country, along with all of our firefighters, paramedics, and no doubt all of our law enforcement agents. The greatest part of life is, you know what, it is a great day to be alive, and we're going to see you guys and gals again next week, and thank you very much for joining us.